Hey legends, welcome back to another PKT video. Today we're going to discuss none other than Red Purple Trafalgar Law deck. Now if any of you actually know, Trafalgar Law is one of my favourite characters. I recently played the Red-Green Trafalgar Law, absolutely insane deck. Enjoyed it. It was one of my favourite to play. Now we're going to move on to the Red Purple and let's go through the cards. We'll read the ability of the leader and I'll explain why I've got the cards in the deck and
I got busted speeding.
how I think that they will work.
I was caught.
So we have the leader. The leader's ability is activate main once per turn, -3 Don. Return one of your opponent's characters with 3000 power or less to the bottom of the owner's deck. Then play one 4 cost or lower character from your hand. And it's got 4 life. So 4 life, 5000 power, and you can bottom deck a 3000 power or less and play out a 4 cost or less as part of the ability. I believe that's a really good, strong leader in my opinion. So we run 4 Otamas. They're a 1 cost, 2k counter power. On play abilities, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2000 power during the turn. So that really helps out if you've got a 5000 character and you need to get it down to 3 to use the leader ability. There's also other cards in my deck that will absolutely KO cards as well as being able to use the leader ability. We run 3 Brook. So Brook is a 4 cost 5k, 1k counter power. This is an actual decent card. It's attach 1 Don. When attacking, give up to 2 of your opponent's characters -2000 power during the turn. So it's actually a pretty decent ways to neg more characters off board instead of just straight up bottom decking them. I believe the more you can get them off board, the better for the play. Everyone's got a different opinion, and I appreciate everyone's different opinion on things. We have 2 Gordon. Unfortunately, I've only got 2 Gordon. He's a 1 cost. He's got no K counter power. He's 2000 power. Activate main, you may return this card to the bottom of the deck, give up to one of your opponent's characters -3000 power during the turn. So the opponent cannot stop this from happening. You play it out, you can instantly bottom deck it, -3000, use leader ability, get rid of that character, play out another character from your hand. It's a really good card to have in the deck. If I had more, I would play more. Got 2 Trafalgar Law. His on play ability is give up to one of your opponent's characters -2000 power during the turn. He's a 4 cost 5k with 1k counter power. And I only run a 2 of for the same reason I've only got 2. We have Jinbei. Jinbei is a 2 cost 2k power, 2k counter power. Attach 1 Don when attacking. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power for this turn. So still a really good card. Run 3. I've used him a few times. Pretty good. But yeah, as I said, I only run 3 of it. It's also good as counter power. Now, I think you say this is Ain. This one is a pretty good card. So it's a 4 cost 5k power, no counter power. On players, add 1 Don card from your Don deck and rest it. So when you're killing off a character when you're using the bottom deck ability for lore, you bottom deck it, right? You minus your Don, your bottom deck, and then you play that back out to get a Don back out. So it's very viable for this deck to try and get the Don back out. So I run a 4 of that. That's pretty decent and it helps. I run 4 Sharky and Penguin. I probably said that so wrong, butchered everything. It's a 4 cost 5k power, 2k counter power. On play, if there are 3 or less Don on your field, you may add up to 2 Don from your Don deck set as rested. So I run 4, pretty decent, 2k counter power, but it is really good to ramp the Don back up that you've just got rid of. So that's why I run that one. Now this one is a crazy blocker. A lot of people have clicked onto it when people go, oh, how many cards you got in your hand? Here's a 4 cost 5k power, 1k counter power. It's a blocker. On play, minus the Don. If your opponent has 7 or more cards in hand, you may trash 2 cards from their hand. So it's a pretty good blocker. It's very good to play when they have 7 or more cards, so then you can pick 2 cards to make them trash and hope and pray they're really good cards. So I run a 4 of that. I also run a 4 of Beppo. Beppo is pretty good. Here's a 4 cost 5k power, 1k counter power. On play and when attacking, if the number of your Don cards on your opponent's field is greater than the number of Don cards on your field, add 1 Don card from your Don deck rested to your cost area. So it's actually pretty decent. On play, you ramp a Don. On your next turn, when you attack, you ramp another Don. So it's pretty decent. Okay, so next we have Round Table. Round Table is an event card. It's a 4 cost. It's a main, so that's on your turn. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 10,000 power during the turn. So this is absolutely amazing for any high cost cards. Kaidos. What else is there? Mihawk. Katakuri, Yamato, all that. All those higher end cards. You play this out, you minus 10,000 power. You use leader ability, bottom deck that card. So very good card to have in the deck. I run 1 Radical Beam. It's a counter. It's a 1 cost. Your leader or up to one of your characters gains 2,000 power during this battle. Then if you have 2 or less life cards, that card gains an additional 2,000 power during this battle. So it goes to 4,000 power counter. Counter power. Power counter? No, counter power. The trigger, your leader or up to one of your characters gains 1,000 power during the turn. So I 9 times out of 10 keep this for counter power. I run 2 guard point. It's a 1 cost counter. Your leader or up to one of your characters gains 3,000 power during the battle. Trigger, your leader or up to one of your characters gains 1,000 power during the battle. Yet again, I try and keep it for the actual counter, not the trigger. Now we're going to move on to 2 Jet Pistol. Now, Jet Pistol's still pretty decent. It's a 4 cost. The main is KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. Trigger, activate this card's main effect. So really decent card. I love getting this off trigger. You get it off trigger and you can KO an opponent's character on board that is 6,000 power or less. Very good card to have in the deck. Now finally, Hydra. So Hydra is a 1 cost main, minus 1 Don. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power during the turn. So it essentially works just like Gordon, except you've got to minus the Don back to the deck. It's the only difference. Trigger. If your opponent has 6 or more Don cards, your opponent returns 1 of their Don cards to their Don deck. So it's actually pretty decent. This is my Trafalgar Law deck. It actually works. I've played it today. I've played it on the sim. Let me know what you guys think. Copy it, try it out, change it up, make it your own. But yeah, thanks guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video. Trafalgar Law is going to be crazy broken when it gets all its support cards. But until then guys, smash the like button, comment down below what you think, and as always, stay legendary.